Really Haunted Places does not support or endorse trespassing to visit haunted places. Before you decide to visit, please make sure to acquire the appropriate permits and/or permissions, and be respectful of properties that are privately owned.
Welcome to Really Haunted Places, where we explore the most intriguing mysteries from around the world. Today, we're taking you on a chilling journey through the haunted history of St. Augustine, Florida. Known as one of the most haunted cities in the United States, St. Augustine is steeped in history and ghostly tales. So sit back, turn down the lights, and let's dive into the top 7 ghost stories from this ancient city. Our first stop is Casa de la Paz. This charming bed and breakfast was once the home of a woman named Miss Mabel. After the tragic loss of her husband, it's said that Miss Mabel never left the Queen Isabella room. Visitors report objects moving on their own, and some have even claimed to see Miss Mabel herself, suitcase in hand, as if ready to embark on a journey. Next, we visit the Grand Ponce de Leon Hall, now part of Flagler College. In its previous life as the Ponce de Leon Hotel, it was home to Henry Flagler's mistress. The 4th floor, where she resided, is a hotbed of paranormal activity, with many reports centered around her former room. Moving on, we find ourselves at 26 Toke Place. This house, once a servant's quarters, was relocated after the main estate burned down. It's said to be haunted by an old woman, a little girl who had been shot in the head, and a little boy sitting on the front steps. Our journey continues at the old jail. Henry Flagler did not have comfort in mind when he built the old jail. The old jail, which opened in 1891, housed both male and female criminals in some of the most inhumane conditions imaginable. People died at the old jail by execution as well as illnesses caused by the old jail's living conditions. The number of ghost sightings and paranormal experiences are so numerous at the old jail it is no wonder it is amongst the most haunted places in St. Augustine. Ghost hunters who have explored the old jail have experienced everything from hearing the sounds of disembodied voices, to hearing moaning, shouting, and even footsteps. To add to the eeriness of the footsteps, people have heard what sounds like chains attached to the moving feet. People have made claims that they were pushed or tripped by a ghost when visiting one of the women's cells. Different apparitions have been spotted around the jail. One was spotted in the kitchen hallway, one was in a chair, while another disappeared into a wall. Next, we venture to the Spanish military hospital built in the late 18th century, then reconstructed roughly 50 years later. The Spanish military hospital is no stranger to ghostly sightings and unusual paranormal activity. People who have worked in the hospital, or even those who have visited, claim they often feel as though they were being watched and that an evil presence fills the hospital. Some attribute these feelings to the trauma and deaths suffered by patients in the hospital. Others attribute it to the fact it was built over an Indian burial ground belonging to the Timucuan tribe. There have been sightings of misty figures that appear to be former patients in their hospital gowns. Beds have displayed the outline of a person lying on them when no one has gone near the beds. Constructed in 1672, this star-shaped fortification is known for housing hundreds of Native American prisoners and ruthless European soldiers. The fort has a dark history as a prison for Native Americans, one of which was beheaded as a souvenir. An adulterous woman stalks the Castillo in the afterlife. Catching a whiff of a strong perfume is a sign that she's nearby. Many believe the chief still haunts the grounds of San Marcos, after all the trauma his corpse was subjected to. Visitors often report seeing unexplained shadows walking in the fort, and some claim to have witnessed a headless apparition. Finally, we arrive at the Huguenot Cemetery, located across from the historic city gate. Served as a Protestant burial ground between the years 1821 and 1884. Established during the yellow fever epidemic, this cemetery is known as St. Augustine's Spirit Central. With 436 interments, one of which had his teeth stolen from his grave, it was eventually closed due to overcrowding. The living no longer use Huguenot Cemetery, but the dead still stalk the ground. Travelers report spirit sightings, cold spots, and mysterious orbs. Some even witness full apparitions. One of the most famous spirits is that of Judge John Stickney. Known for his dentition, Stickney is the cemetery's most recognizable specter. Travelers describe him as a shadowy apparition of a man in a black hat. He scours the cemetery in continuous search. Some say he's looking for his pearly whites. Others suggest that he's on the hunt for the men that stole them. Another haunting tale begins with the body of a 14-year-old girl abandoned at the nearby city gates during a yellow fever epidemic. Since no one claimed her, and she couldn't be proven to be Catholic, she was buried in the Huguenot Cemetery. It's said that she still roams the cemetery grounds. And there you have it, the top 7 ghost stories from St. Augustine, Florida. Each location holds its own unique tales and experiences. If you're ever in the area, consider taking a ghost tour to learn more about these haunted locations. But remember, you never know who, or what, you might encounter. If you enjoyed this journey into the paranormal, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more spine-chilling stories. And if you have your own ghostly tales to share, we'd love to hear them. Join our subreddit, Really Haunted Stories, and become part of our community of paranormal enthusiasts. Until next time, good night.